And now back to Bobby Likis Car Clinic and your host, Bobby Likis.
And welcome back to this segment of Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Folks, the Better Buildings Challenge Swap is a new reality show hosted on the Department of Energy website where brands compete to find energy savings in each other's manufacturing locations. Previous seasons of Swap featured brands such as the Hilton, Whole Foods, the U.S. Air Force Academy, and more throughout the U.S. looking for energy savings and has had over 4.7 million video views. That's a lot of views, folks. In the latest season, General Motors Swap team traveled to the L'Oreal cosmetic plant in Little Rock, Arkansas. This is really cool to offer recommendations. And on the Car Clinic hotline with us today is ERIN LAWRENCE, an energy engineer at General Motors. And as an energy engineer, ERIN is helping GM's global manufacturing operations build the next generation of fuel-efficient and emissions-free vehicles in a responsible way. That's why ERIN was selected to be a part of GM's Swap team and traveled to the cosmetic plant in Little Rock to offer her recommendations. I thought you might be interested in hearing ERIN's experience in the reality series competition and how the energy savings she gathered can be used in your home. ERIN, we really are interested in what you have to say. Welcome to Bobby Likis Car Clinic.
Thanks, Bobby. Thanks a lot for having me.
Share with our Car Clinic listeners and viewers your experience in the Swap reality series competition.
Sure. So first we went to L'Oreal's facility in Little Rock, Arkansas, like you said, and we walked around the facility, got a big tour, and got to see what they do there. And our team was able to look for energy efficiency opportunities. So we pointed out a few to them, and then we also gathered some best practices from them as well. And then they came up to our facility in Detroit-Hamtramck and did the same for us, and were able to help us out with identifying some opportunities.
That's very interesting, Erin. So as an engineer for GM, what was it like to visit a manufacturing facility for a company in an entirely different consumer product space?
Yeah, I thought it would be more different than it was, but it seemed a little bit like one of our plants, just scaled down and sped up. So they make over 1 million units a day, which is way more than we can make in cars.
I'll say, really.
Right, but there were a lot of similarities in terms of energy usage. They use a lot of compressed air and HVAC, and the lighting is really similar. So it was cool to see some of the similarities in the processes.
So speaking of similarities, what were some of your main takeaways from your visit at L'Oreal? And do you think that GM could use some of those same facilities, same manufacturing processes in your plants?
Yeah, there were a couple of things that the L'Oreal team pointed out to us at Detroit-Hamtramck that we're evaluating for future use. So one of them is on robots that use compressed air. We could try to set the part down when the line stops so that we're not using as much compressed air. That's something that L'Oreal did when they're holding some of their smaller parts. They just drop them when the line stops. Another thing that they did really well is they converted all of their lights to LEDs, and so that's something that we've done at a lot of our facilities, and Detroit-Hamtramck still has some fluorescence, so we're evaluating whether we can convert those to LEDs as well.
Well, that's pretty cool. We're talking with ERIN LAWRENCE, energy engineer with General Motors. ERIN, do you think your findings at L'Oreal and their findings at your facility can be applied, and here's where the rubber meets the road, to the consumer energy savings at home or perhaps even behind the wheel?
Definitely. So one thing you can do at home is also convert to LEDs. They're getting cheaper and cheaper, and they're way more energy efficient. Another big takeaway for both of us was shutdown opportunities. So anytime we're not running our line, we can turn things off, especially on weekends. And you can do the same at home when you leave the house. So turning off your lights, adjusting the temperature set point because you're not there really saves you a lot of energy.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, ERIN. Yeah, so if our Car Clinic listeners and viewers want to check out the reality show series sponsored by the Department of Energy, give us the website where they can follow the competition.
Yeah, so it's on the Better Buildings website, which is through the Department of Energy.
Terrific. ERIN LAWRENCE, energy engineer with General Motors. I find it so intriguing, ERIN, that you go to another completely out of your realm, if I may, exposure to what you do, and then they come to your facility, and then how we can transfer some of what you learned right here to our own cars and our own lives at home. I sure thank you for taking the time to share with us your experiences here on Bobby Likis Car Clinic. Great to have you on the show today.
Well, thanks so much for having me. It was a great experience.